Hello, and welcome to this video where we will be continuing from our last discussion about business continuity plan. In formulation of business continuity plan, we saw that there is an important concept of business impact analysis that will help you to identify critical or non-critical systems along with its function and the various activities that system provides. Business impact analysis is a very industry-wide and quite widely used term. So the terminology per se remains quite consistent. However, the way business impact analysis is conducted may differ from organization to organization. However, for the major part of the process for business impact analysis, the output and the standard terminology that is used within it remains same. So what is business impact analysis and what does it provide? As said, it's a process, a way of conducting an assessment which help you identify the critical and non-critical systems in your organization, the functions, activity that it provides. It gives you an indication which will help you to see if there is a critical function where disruption is considered absolutely unacceptable. And of course, the acceptability is relative in terms of cost of recovery for that particular system or the function or the activity that has been provided with. A function, for example, may also be considered critical by virtue of the law. For example, instant payment systems, which is widely used across financial organization, which is also widely used by the consumers of the financial product, is considered by law a critical service. You do not want to be waiting for payment to take 30 minutes while you are shopping at a grocery store. The payment has to be instant. And that is where the capability of this payment processing is marked as a critical service. For each critical system or the function or activity, the relative values are assigned. For example, within a system, a particular component is most critical, while another component, which is providing a different function or activity, may be less critical than the first component. But overall, the criticality of the system is the main driver. How do you parameterize these values? They are done by choosing different parameters, and those parameters are as follows. RPO, recovery point objective. For any given system, this parameter indicates the amount of data that cannot be recovered, which means the data that is acceptable to be lost without interfering in the running of your business. Now, in most of the cases, for financial or for medical or the pharmaceutical field, this value is kept as low as possible because losing data also means losing reputation, also means attracting legal glance over your system. Therefore, an RTO must be ensured that the maximum tolerable data loss for the system, function or activity, and it is as said kept as low as possible so that it doesn't exceed certain very critical threshold. What is the work recovery time? This parameter is defined as how much time is required to configure a system especially a software system. This is basically required that in terms of once your system is down and you bring it up, you probably need to reconfigure your system to make it functional. Recovery time objective denotes the amount of time to restore the system dominantly used for the hardware component. The recovery time objective must ensure that MTD, the term that we will see next, for each system of functional activity is not exceeding certain threshold. So please understand, recovery point objective is about data, the quantity of data, and recovery time objective is about the time. MTD combines the concept of RTO and work recovery time, and it is maximum tolerable downtime, which is a parameter which decides up until what time this is acceptable for your system to be down, beyond which the legit continuity of your business probably will come into question. The total time of a system can be inoperable before our organization is severely impacted. And the formula to guide you is that MTD should be greater than or equal to the sum of RTO plus work recovery time. MTD is also known by another term called maximum acceptable outage, MAO, and this is the threshold which will again tell you beyond what time it is incomprehensible for your business to continue. There are other parameters, for example, mean time between failures. It can happen that a system failed, you recover, and it failed again after a certain time, maybe due to bad reconfiguration and maybe other failures. So the MTBF will help you measure that time and maybe try, the shorter the MTBF, the more attention that you have to pay in terms of reconfiguring your system. The mean time to repair is also your ability, that how much time between the two failures that you take to repair your system. The lesser the value, the better it is, but then your attention should always be that the system do not consistently fail between two repair cycles. What is a minimum operating requirement? This is the minimum threshold beyond which your system should not go for it to be able to function properly and it to discharge its activities the way it's supposed to discharge. Therefore, business impact analysis is a process which on the surface helps you to determine the criticality of your system functions or activity. However, it is governed by many different parameters. So please pay attention to each of this definition and keep a clear distinction between these different definitions that is being used. This is a highly testable concept in the exam, so the clarity among these definitions and the parameter as to what they represent is a must. I'll stop here. Thanks for watching and keep learning.